What's going on, traders? It's Ricky with TechBud Solutions. So I'm just going to be answering one of the biggest or most common questions that I've been receiving within TechBud Solutions, and it is, what is Snapchat doing and what's expected to happen with Snapchat? Again, everything that I'm going to be talking about is based on my own opinion, so it doesn't mean that you have to listen to it. It's just, hearing what I have to say and then you articulating it, whatever it is that you think that, Snapchat will do. So based on just the hype that Snapchat had at open, right? So they valued Snapchat at $17 a share during pre-market hours. It soared all the way to $23.50, so that's when the actual market opened. It has hit highs of $29.44 if I'm not mistaken, and is currently hitting lows of $24.24 now. So based on our Sunday stock talk, so it is a weekly recap that we had, today being Monday, it's the one that we had as of yesterday, talking about Snapchat and what's to be expected for this upcoming week. And one of the biggest things that we talked about was that although Snapchat has, identified its resistance, so its peak, kind of giving us a better understanding on what's a good sell point, right? So $29.44 is a good resistance for Snapchat on the overall value of the stock, right? Now, what is the good support? It hasn't even hit lows of 17, which is what Snapchat actually valued itself at. So what I talked about for this upcoming week is most likely we're gonna still see that very high volume within Snapchat, but now we're going to be most likely seeing a downward trend. And the reason why was obviously Snapchat being such a big company, and a company that is so widely known across the world, obviously intrigued a lot of investors when it came to getting a better understanding on, people were either going to make it or break it when they invested in Snapchat, because they put so much money with it or into Snapchat. And although I didn't invest in it, and the reason, like I've talked about before, the reason I didn't invest in Snapchat was because I didn't understand where Snapchat was going. I'm a day trader and I want to understand support and resistance levels. And based on just Snapchat being more of a long-term trade, so more of a swing trade, I had no understanding where Snapchat was going to go. Does that mean that I missed out? Well, based on how it played out, yes. But did everyone know that that was going to happen? No, and that's the whole part of being a trader, and it's one of our main quotes of this week. It's successful investing is about managing risk, not avoiding it. Although I chose to avoid Snapchat was because the risk that I saw with Snapchat, I didn't understand it. So it's about managing my risk. I didn't understand the support nor the resistance levels, just because there weren't any, right? And because it was a technology-based company, it has not seen any revenue within the years that it's been out there. I personally, as an investor, just didn't want to risk, my hard-earned money, thousands of dollars that I would invest in Snapchat, in effort to see a loss because of an unpredictable just spike or downward trend that I was not able to, in a sense, identify, because I know nothing about Snapchat and how it's usually traded, because this is the first time it goes public. So that was just my approach to Snapchat and why I chose to not invest it. Just because there's thousands of stocks out there that are making a large, if not more, percentage of growth every single day compared to Snapchat. But because you didn't invest in those stocks, does it mean that you missed out? Does it mean that you're not a good investor? No, you weren't exposed to the potential. You weren't exposed to the idea of these different stocks. And just because you chose to not invest in it, being able to identify yourself as an investor and having a set of rules, and if that stock or that certain just product does not meet those requirements for who you are as an investor, so that allows you or gives you the opportunity to actually in yourself identify that as a good investment, then so be it. You're not here to prove yourself to anyone. You're here to make money, and based on my experience and based on what I do best when it comes to day trading is I tend to be able to do pretty well when it comes to identifying support and resistance levels. And because there was no history, no trends with Snapchat, I was not able to do that. And was I going to risk it all, either make it or break it? I'm not that type of investor. And although there's many of those that made a large amount of money, it really just depends if you're willing to lose that amount. The amount that I was going to invest, I was not willing to lose all of it or lose half of it, depending on how Snapchat fluctuated. And that's just the decision I chose to take when it comes to knowing how to invest. And what's to be expected with Snapchat? Again, opening at $17. I think within the next couple of weeks, now we're going to see more of a downward trend, and hopefully hitting that support, or at least identifying a low point. And then again, we have different indicators that we use to identify upward trends. So with that, it will give us a better understanding on, where the resistance is. So, $29.44, and where the support is. So hopefully around $17, maybe a little bit below, depending on how Snapchat plays out. But being able to get a better understanding on where those supports, where the resistance levels are, and the different levels within, that large margin of profit that there is, will give me a better understanding on how I can invest, later on in Snapchat. Just because I wasn't able to jump on the hype, right as Snapchat opened, because I wasn't able as an investor to manage or identify that risk, doesn't mean that I can't do it later on. So it's all about being patient, having a plan, and making sure that the stock that you're choosing fulfills every, in a sense, rule that you have before investing in a stock. And I think that's truly what's going to lead to your success. It's not based on going on someone else's opinion. Even if you are successful with that time that you go based on someone else's opinion, in the long run, right, as an investor, you will be the most successful when you truly identify yourself as a type of investor and can manage your risk. And that's the whole point of investing. It's not, you're not going to be successful based on going on someone else's opinion, but truly being able to identify yourself on the potential that it has and the risk that it has, and you as an investor have to decide on whether to take it or not. So that's my own 2 cents on Snapchat. There's not a real answer for you guys. It's just I expect more of a downward trend to identify the supports, or where that bounce is going to be. So once it identifies that support and that resistance at the 29.44, I'm going to get a better understanding on where I can buy and where I can sell and where I can cut my losses, just in case how Snapchat fluctuates. But I'm really excited. It tends to be a company that's been opening with extremely high volume, right? So it's been one that I was actually about to trade today. And thank God I didn't. I was about to buy in at $25. I ended up hitting like $25.50 and then just dumped all the way down to $24.24. And again, you can't predict these. It's because of how much volume these stocks are seeing that there's so much hype behind them that it's not real investors that are doing it. There's more of like people that are shorting it, people that are just buying in based on the hype. And I think within the next 2 to 3 weeks we'll really see Snapchat kind of flatline, lose that volume of all that hype, and truly express what the company is actually worth. So that's definitely something I'm really excited about. So I hope you guys found this video helpful. If you guys did, please give this video a thumbs up. And if you guys have any questions or anything that you guys would like me to answer, the comments is the best way to reach out to me. If you guys have any ideas or I can help you out any way that I can, my link for my email is provided for you down below. It's techbuds@mail.com. And if you would like to be part of our free group, right now we're sitting a little bit under 5,000 members worldwide, and it's a networking group. It's a free group you can join. It's a very welcoming environment for all new entrepreneurs and investors that want to get a better understanding on how to invest or how to get into trading penny stocks. So I'd love to be a part of your success. Again, that link is provided for you down below to join our Facebook platform, and then within that Facebook platform you can actually ask to join the group chats, and that link for the group chats are all provided for you on the top of the Facebook page. And depending on what kind of trader you are, there is a different group chat for your needs. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you guys have an amazing year, and let's make sure that we make the good decisions and end the year on a green note. Take care, guys. Baby, don't you let it go to waste.